Hey guys, welcome back to the Jathaly podcast.
Welcome back to another episode. We are currently filming Wednesday, May 22nd at 8:47 p.m.
I hope when you guys are watching this, you're having a great day. You had a great day. You're having a good night. You had a great night. Just be careful.
Have a good time. Have a good day. Honestly, today was the longest day ever. And it's crazy because we did really like quote unquote nothing for like YouTube. It was just the biggest decision day of our life.
You guys will find out sooner or later, and you guys are going to be like, oh.
Yeah, like I remember when I watched that podcast, today was that decision day.
Like put a little mark on top of this video this day, okay? Just remember this day.
Yeah, March 22nd. Dude, my head
is... Yeah, I can tell your head is on fire, bro.
Shit. See, I feel like it's going to explode, and like, it's crazy because I remember my dad used to always tell me like, when you're old and you have big responsibilities, like you're gonna understand. Forget everything. He's like, you're gonna understand what real stress is like, right? And I get it.
You do, huh?
This is such a big decision that alters our entire life forever.
Yeah, it is.
And it was just
But I think we did all the right decisions. Even after like coming home and discussing with you, like we made the perfect decisions.
Yeah, we're happy with our decision for sure. Our decisions, because yesterday was even worse. And I'll talk about yesterday in a future podcast when we actually get to talk to you guys about this. But yesterday, I actually was going through a crisis. I've never thought that hard in my entire life, ever in my entire life.
Now I was going through it and I was trying to help her as much as I can. But like, if you listen to our last podcast, I'm not the pickiest person in the world. That's all I'm going to say.
I couldn't sleep. It was the worst. But anyway, we are finally done. Everything's finalized. So like whether we like it or not, what is done, and that is that. So we move on. Anyway, today was like the huge decision-making day. But now we get to move forward with our life, and we have so much going on this week, next week. Like it has been, I think it's like one of the most stressful times ever. You guys are literally going to find out next week, so just be super excited.
But you guys clicked on this podcast for a reason, and we're going to dive deep down and tell you guys what we did when we were younger.
Yeah.
And started our first businesses.
We're going to talk about our first hustles.
Pretty much the entrepreneurs in the making, but like all entrepreneurs say, your first business isn't always going to be your best business. So this is a little story time of our first business.
Okay, question.
Okay, what's up?
Do you think entrepreneurs are just like born with it? Or do you think that it's something that you learn?
I think it's something all right, I think billionaires, low-key, like billionaires, they have to be born with it. Because the amount of luck it is to become a millionaire is like a way, what's it called? More common than a billionaire, because a billionaire has to be...
Second question. Do you think you can be a billionaire ethically?
Ooh. Elaborate. What do you mean ethically?
Ethically. Do you not know what ethically means?
Mm-mm.
It's like, I don't know how to explain it either, but it's basically you're a good person. Long story short.
If you could be a billionaire ethically, I think I'm a billionaire already.
No, babe. Like if you're can you be a billionaire
by being a good person?
And be a good person, like to get there.
Okay. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I think you can.
I honestly, I used to think you can, but honestly, now I don't.
Okay, but look at this. The guy that owns a basketball team, he's a billionaire, and I think he's a good person.
You think?
Yeah,
But you don't know.
Nobody will truly know.
Because okay, I saw this video about it, and maybe it might not even be that they didn't, right? That they're not ethical or whatever. But honestly, that could be a chance that they built a business, and then they probably let it be managed by somebody else, and the other people are the ones that aren't being ethical. I mean, that could happen, right?
But that's still not him. It's not.
That's
him.
what I'm saying.
It doesn't have to do with that guy at all, or that
but
girl.
I really do think that the chances of that happening are very low. And I used to be super like, y'all are haters if you think every billionaire is a scum, right? I used to be like that kind, but then I started looking more into it. And it's like, really think about what $1 billion is, right? It's $1 billion is 999 plus 1 million. Do you try to get $1 million?
Yeah, getting $1 million is hard already. You have to do that 100,000 more times, right?
It's fucking so hard, right? Like
999,000 more times.
Imagine that, Jake. That's to be a billionaire. And like, if you're a billionaire, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're like, $1 billion in your bank. Usually when you hit the billionaire status, you're like in the billions of whatever it is that you have. That's just crazy. Think about that number. Like, I feel like it just kind of flies over our head when we think about that, but you don't really hear and like really listen. $1 billion. Anyway, I would like to believe in my heart that there is a way because I would love to be a billionaire. I would love to believe that there is a way, but I don't see it. And I would love to meet a billionaire to know if that's a real thing.
Well, what if you meet like the wrong billionaire? You never know. Like,
I think that there's too many wrong billionaires. That's the issue.
All right, first we got to start with meeting millionaires, then multimillionaires, and
Have
start
I
from
met
there.
a millionaire? Have we met a millionaire?
Yeah, we have. Me.
You've met a millionaire.
Bro, my friend's a millionaire.
Your friend is literally a millionaire. I don't know if I have.
You had to.
I have.
Who? I want to know.
He's also a creator.
I have no clue who you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That person's also a creator.
And then also the guy when you were going to buy the cabin, he's a millionaire.
Yeah, I think that guy's a millionaire too.
Did you ever tell him about that? You were so
No,
close to buying a cabin?
We are not going to speak about that. Yeah, so
Why?
I think even our agent, she might be a millionaire.
Oh, 100%. Bro, if you have, I'm not going to put her business out there, but if you have
don't say
like a certain amount of things, you're already a millionaire.
She might be. And if she's not, she's still a millionaire in my eyes because she's like the best person.
She's
in
a
the
billionaire, dude.
She's
works
a billionaire in my
so
heart.
hard.
Yeah, she works so hard.
Shout out to all the other
night.
people out there too that work super hard, and like your bank account doesn't reflect it, but we like truly know you guys work that hard, and you know that you work this hard. Like the billionaire stuff doesn't define you, you know? It's just the same thing as grades. It's the same thing as grades. Grades don't define you. Money doesn't define you.
Oh my gosh. I want to get into something about grades real quick. Wait, hold up.
Ooh.
First, I just want to say that my heart goes out to every single agent out there because selling Sunset and selling the OC has ruined your guys' business in the sense that, like, I feel like they glamorize that show. So, like, I literally wanted to be a real estate agent when I first started watching Selling Sunset because I thought it was, like, the job, right? And like they make it look like, oh yeah, I have a $20 million listing, so easy. And like it's crazy because it's really not like that because we work with our agent so much and we know how much she hustles. Like this lady does not sleep, does not eat, does not like rest. She is always working, and it's so crazy, huh? Because we were watching the new season of the OC. All they do is fuck around.
It's the most extensive thing I've ever watched in my life. It's so like edited. It's so extra. Yeah. It's not even anything close to what I would imagine real estate is.
Yeah, me either. And
like,
I'm not an
and
agent,
I don't even do any of that.
Yeah. Can you imagine people
we
do
buy
it?
stuff like this, but we don't like involve ourselves with that.
We do not buy stuff like that.
No. Like we check out properties all the time and stuff.
We like to see, but we like to dream, manifest, or you don't manifest. We like to imagine ourselves in that lifestyle.
Thank you, brother.
Got you. Anyway, okay, let's continue. So yeah, let's stop. You want to start with our hustles?
Yeah, okay.
Wait,
a little FYI. Hold on. A little FYI. This camera is at like 30%, and the memory card on it is only like 50 minutes max. So that's why the podcast is short. And it's going to be our bedtime soon. It's already 9 p.m. That's why. All right. Just FYI. Okay, what was the question?
Do you think you're born an entrepreneur?
I do think you're born an entrepreneur, but I also think you could learn how to be an entrepreneur.
Okay. Explain.
I don't think I was born an entrepreneur. I think the route I took made me become an entrepreneur because the first year, like, it's just me creating videos. And then after you create videos and get paid, you have to make a business.
You think you're an entrepreneur?
I think right now I'm an entrepreneur.
You would categorize yourself as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I would categorize myself as an entrepreneur. And then, but before, like, as it being a hobby, it was just me creating videos. But then California makes you create a freaking business, and now you're technically an entrepreneur.
Okay, so you think you're
Why do you sound shady?
No,
huh?
I'm not shading. I'm asking you because a lot of people consider this more of like an art, not like a business. You know what I mean? Like creating content. It could be like, oh, this is more of like my art, my passion in that kind of sense. Or it's more of like my business that I'm scaling to be, And there's so many people that just do YouTube because of the art of it. Like more of creating something like a movie versus this is a business.
But an artist is also gonna be categorized in the entrepreneur category. So that's why
it depends.
How?
I feel like you can be an entrepreneur, or like there's really good artists that are not, that work to create for an entrepreneur. Does that make sense?
No.
You don't think so?
I think every artist is an entrepreneur, unless they're like subcontractors are entrepreneurs.
No, but that's not a subcontractor. Like, like when you hire someone, or like there's people who don't want to run their own business, so they'll like create for someone who has the business.
Okay, so like the Louis Vuitton artists writing the painting on the bags.
Yeah, like they're working for someone who has the business.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Right there, yeah, they are. But
okay,
if you branch out of their actual life, they're probably creating art and stuff, selling
then
it.
Then that's an entrepreneur. Yeah. Okay, got you. Yeah, I think that's like a very fine line. It might all be like the same thing. Okay, cool. So you think that you're born with it?
I think you're born with it.
Okay, I agree with that.
But I also think you can learn with it. That's why I have my millionaire rich friend, and I'm gonna learn from him.
I think you can always, learn. But you know what? I think you can always learn, but there's just some people that are just born with that shit. I swear, like there's people who are just business masterminds, and I wish I was like that.
You know who was like that? That was crazy. This boy right here.
Okay, tell us why.
Okay, all right. Let me tell you why about a couple of my first businesses. I feel like everyone growing up with very little money, you have to find something to get money and like to splurge yourself, right? For me, my favorite thing like to splurge myself on was like the book fairs, or when you guys would have like a track meet at your school and just like buy chips and stuff. That was my favorite thing. Like shoes and stuff weren't really like important to me, so I wouldn't buy shoes. But what I would do, okay, elementary school.
What grade?
Fifth or sixth grade.
Okay, you're uploading your resume. Continue.
Okay. All right. So I would. It was me and my siblings too, because if it worked for me, then they seen it, and my dad was like, "All right, here, you do this, you do this." It was like little. They passed it down. I'm sure my older brothers and siblings did it too. So you guys know when you go to like Smart and Final or to any grocery store, you have like these little lollipops, and they're the caramel apple ones. That's green and then caramel covered on the outside. So I would sell those for 25 cents each. And bro, tell me that wasn't gold back then for little kids. Like you're full of like silver tooth people, and then just bam, give them more silver teeth, more silver teeth, more silver teeth, more silver teeth. Dude, I think I was making the most I made in a day. I think it was $12. But
for real,
dude. But like a quarter each. How many quarters? I mean, how many quarters equals $12?
Hella kids, dude. You were running
like 48 quarters, bro.
Yeah,
I was running a business, and then I think the teachers started to catch on because the school fairs and stuff weren't making like as much money. I guess I suppose like 48 quarters made a big ass difference.
You were taking away $12. Their business. That is crazy, dude. Schools are the greediest people, but we'll get into that.
Right? Okay, yeah. So I was selling those lollipops, and then from there I went to middle school. In middle school, they were cracking down on it like crazy. I couldn't sell anything. And then after that, in my freshman year, to be honest, I'm not gonna tell you all the illegal aspect, but I would sell other stuff. So my dad he was a chef. Look at. My dad was a chef, and in my freshman year of high school, I needed to make money because like I had to, bro. I had to have nice shoes. That's when you actually like try to flex and stuff. And my dad would make breakfast, and I would ask him like to make a couple extra for my friends, and like for no charge. Like I'm trying to be a nice person. I'm having breakfast eating in first period or zero period, whatever it is.
Oh, that's nice of you.
Yeah, and I want my friends to eat too. So they had foods, the same food I would eat. I think it was like breakfast burritos, and my dad would make like the crunch wraps from Taco Bell.
Your dad is.
He's goated.
Such good breakfast, yeah.
So I would eat those, and then eventually, like some other kid was like, I forgot who it was, but it was like random people coming up and like, "Oh, what happened to mine? Where's mine at?" Like those type of people.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hold up! If you give me like $3, I'll bring you one tomorrow."
Genius.
And it evolutionized from there because I was selling, I think, breakfast burritos and breakfast bagels. I don't know what it was exactly.
And who was putting the groceries? Your parents?
Okay, no. At first, my parents were buying the groceries, and then I was selling them, and then I was like showing my dad money, and then we'd buy the groceries from there. And my younger brother did the same thing because he actually cooked it himself though. And we were selling. So I was selling lollipops at first, and then breakfast, and I was making a lot of money.
Genius.
Yeah, I was making a lot of money, and then I think that's when it stopped because it became an addiction to make money, and then you go to other things that makes money quicker in your grade. Like 11th graders aren't really gonna go crazy over breakfast, you know. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
But yeah, it evolutionized to this.
The Jacob Macias today would have done that, right? That's crazy, Jake.
There should be a Statue of Liberty or whatever it's called. What's it called? The Statue of Limitations. But I don't want to exceed this legal stuff. But yeah, that's what happened. That was what's happening.
Damn, that
I was making
crazy.
money.
And then you stopped that other thing, right? Like
yeah, bro. I stopped the other thing after. Oh my gosh, I have a crazy story time. Okay, so guys, I'm not the perfect child. I'm not gonna explain everything thoroughly, but I had 2 items that I could have got pretty much like arrested for because they were in my backpack. Not anything dangerous or anything, but like, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, I had 2 of those, and tell me why. One, it's like a little story. Let me tell you a little story. So we had a substitute teacher in my last period of one school of one class, and a kid put a paper bag over my head. Like we were playing around. He just put a paper bag over my head, and like we're trolling. And apparently the substitute had to report that because it's like an incident they needed to report, even though we didn't take it offensive or we were just playing around.
Oh, yeah.
It was a dangerous activity, right? So since that kid did that, 2 days later I get called up to the office. But that's during my era where I'm trapping pretty much.
Okay.
So I had the 2 things in my backpack, and I get called up to the office. So I'm like, oh shoot, they come in my second period class in the morning, and I have it in my backpack, and he tells me to bring my things. And I was so scared now. I was like shitting my pants because if they catch me with this, I can't go to college. My parents are going to be mad because they don't even know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody knows what's going on at all. And I'm the perfect child. I have really good grades. It's like that innocent kid that's trapping. That's me. And I get pulled up to the office, and they don't search me or anything. But the guy that was that took me in the golf cart to the office, he was cool, like super cool. And I was going to ask that guy to like cover for me. And he would have. I promise you he would have. Like, there's this little way around certain things. And I called up to the office, and I'm like, nah, I'm as if I was the one that put the paper bag over the other kid's head. Like, that's how freaking guilty I felt. And then the superintendent, the superintendent asks, is like, are you okay? Why are you upset? Or why are you like shaking and stuff? And he's like, there's no problem. You're fine. I just want to know if you're okay after the incident that happened. And I was like, oh yeah, no, it didn't even happen like that. It was just like this. And I was like pretty much lying. And because apparently he told the other kid too. And like the other kid was big. And I'm like, damn, if I snitch on this kid and he wants to fight me, he's heavier. He's probably wants to fight me.
The other kid was mad?
No. But like in case, like if I snitch.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's what happened. And I almost got caught from that. So since that incident, later that day, I sold that stuff and I was done. Yeah. I didn't do that anymore.
That was a blessing.
But like that's an entrepreneur lifestyle I had. It wasn't the perfect come up, but it was a way to make money at the time.
That is crazy. That literally changed your path. Because if that wouldn't have happened and you would have kept making money that way, like why would you stop?
Dude, because it's a lot of, you're making a lot of money, you're young.
That's the thing, yeah.
That's why a lot of people get caught up.
And stuff like that. Yeah. Because it's like a way to make money easier than, for example, breakfast sandwiches. It's the same thing in real life, right? Like there's so much easier ways to make money that obviously are not the best, but you get so caught up in making money fast.
Isn't it messed up too how the school doesn't let you sell stuff?
Oh my gosh.
Like they should make you like pretend to make a business, file a business with the school so that they tax you from everything you make, but at the end of the day, you're preparing yourself for the real world.
No, okay, here's my problem with it. Okay, so from what I know, this was the issue, okay? Because we were like, what the hell? Like, why is this such a big deal? And so apparently the issue is that okay, this is what they say. My theory, completely different, but we'll start with what they say. So apparently it's because you're basically selling things that the school isn't like checking, so they don't know what's in that food. And if somebody gets sick or whatever, like then the school can be in trouble because it was happening on school grounds and blah, 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 blah.
So is safety.
And then it was also because you're making money and you shouldn't be like making money without having a business and school and all that, right?
I got it.
And then also, I feel, okay, this is my thing. Oh, and I think one of the security guards told us like, oh, if we just let people start selling stuff, like this would become an entire like place to do businesses and we can't allow that, like school's a priority or whatever. I think that it's because since there's like the chip dealers and shit, people weren't buying like the 50% fat on the student store. Like since that, the sales, and I'm telling you from experience, because I would run the student store, right? And sales dropped so much because when I first went to high school, there wasn't a limitation on things you could sell. Like we were selling munchies. They were selling the hot Cheetos, but like the 50-cent bags, little like the baby ones.
It was before they passed like the 50% fat, like high.
So I guess in high school that didn't matter. We were selling flamas. I remember those. And then there was like a bunch of different kind of like snacks and candies and all kinds of
cookies
shit.
And stuff, right?
Yes. And then, right, they passed something that stopped that from happening. I don't know what it was.
That's crazy. You're so lucky. That happened to me in my 8th grade year. So my 7th grade year, we had like I think it was called like the a la carte or something in the lunch, and we could buy cookies and buy chips and everything. And my 8th grade year, everything changed. They give us the cookies and they were healthy, and I was like, bro, everything changed like that
for you guys.
And it was 8th grade.
No, for us, like we were able. I remember in 9th grade because I remember what we would do is every committee in like ASB would switch off weeks, and you would basically take up your lunch and sell in the student store. That's like how it would be, but. That's how it was at first, and then they switched it, and then it wasn't like that. And the only people that carried like munchies and shit like that were the cafeteria people. This is how money runs shit, right? Because the cafeteria program, right, got upset at the fact that the student store, right? The student store is basically things that are sold by ASB to run events.
Yeah.
Okay. They got upset. The cafeteria people, which is more like the government, right? Whoever the fuck runs the cafeterias, which is the government. Yeah, that's like the school system. They were losing out so much money because we were also selling chips on this side that it was taking their profits away. So they removed our stuff from the store and then they were basically only selling it on their side. In the cafeteria.
What?
Inside of the cafeteria, because we were talking about 2 different locations. But, right, when this happened, people didn't want to wait in the cafeteria line because it was massive. Like, people didn't want to wait. So the chip dealers, right, came up because nobody was selling it in the student store anymore. And in order to get chips, you had to wait in these big ass lines and nobody was going to do that. So the chip dealers came up. And then that's when they started to crack down harder on people because it's like now the cafeteria didn't have the demand it had anymore because
That's
the
so
chip
smart.
dealers came up so much. I remember because I would never buy chips at the cafeteria. You'd always just go to the chip dealers. It's funny because Paz used to be a chip dealer. I don't know if he's ever said that.
I think you told me that you would buy hot fries in
Oh
first,
yeah,
second
Paz was
period.
my dealer for sure.
But you were the problem. How are you buying chips at 11 in the morning? Come on.
Oh my God, yeah, me and Paz had a whole argument about it. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I think. I think that it just comes down to money and the fact that they're losing out on money and stuff like that. There's no other reason.
It's so cool though because I seen on TikTok that there's a kid that actually sells quarters in the Cubs, quarters on the cob, like a corn man in school.
What? How
And he has a cooler, but it's in his gym bag, and then he has all the toppings and everything, and he makes money, dude. I know he does. He posted on TikTok too, so I'm surprised he hasn't got caught up.
No, but I think that a lot of the times, like some of our teachers, I remember they would cover, like they'd cover for us.
Bro, no, one of my teachers would sell water bottles.
Bruh.
Yeah, she'll sell water bottles and chips too. 50 cents for a bag of chips.
Yeah, see, those type of teachers are super cool because it's like if a kid is trying to do that, like chances are they really need the money, right? A or B, they're just smart as hell, so let them win. Like if they're just smart enough to start the business, like why are you gonna knock them down like that? But I understand the school to an extent when it comes to like, yeah, you come to school to learn whatever, but some people just have the situation where they need to make money.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it is. Yeah. So that's my take on the whole chip. But that's only chip dealers. There's all kinds of dealers at school, clearly.
Okay, yeah, so I told you guys my first business. What was your first business?
Gosh,
What was the come up of
many.
Natalie Cuevas?
I had so many businesses, okay?
Wait, I got you with the TikTok clip. Was Natalie Cuevas born an entrepreneur, or was she just lucky and got the internet fame?
No, Jake. Okay, so my very first business was in kindergarten because I don't know if you remember this. It might have been first grade, one of those two. But in that time, we would use markers and write down our answer on the whiteboard, and then you would hold it up, right? Like whatever your answer was. But the problem was that I would come home every single day with like the dry erase or the Sharpie on my...
The markings.
All on my hands and on my sweaters because I would try to clean it, right? To clean it fast so I could write my next answer on there. And it was so bad. And I remember my mom would always be like, what the hell? Like, why are your hands always dirty? And I was like, oh, it's because of the markers. So my mom made me a homemade eraser. So she basically my mom used to sell blankets. That's a whole other hustle. So my mom used to sell blankets and she had extra fabric from the little pieces that she would cut off. So she would basically get 2 pieces of fabric, put the stuffing in there, the stuff that she was going to throw away, sewed it, and then it was like I called them like little pillows. They were like this big, and it was cloth, so it would erase like an eraser. You could throw it like in the washer. It was great. It was like a genius idea. So I would go to school with it, and I would just, that's what I would use. And then I started to get inquiries about it, so then I told my mom, and we started to make them. And we sold them for 50 cents, I remember. Or it was like 2 for 1. I remember I would always be like 2 for 1. And my mom started making it for me. And we could make them different colors too because my mom had hella fabrics. Because on the weekends, we'd go stock up at the swap meet. So we'd go stock up on fabrics and we were able to sell those. Anyway, that was my very, very, very first business. We were selling like those little, and I made hella money from them. Now that I think about it, I probably made like easy $50 in my entire lifetime.
What the
Just
heck?
hella money.
And your teacher didn't find out at all?
No. You know what? I think she did because how does everybody have the same pillow? But I don't think she really thought it was that deep to like put a stop to it because we were so young. And honestly, like it was just like my mom was honestly the mastermind.
Let me find out you were born an entrepreneur.
So that's how it started, right? Okay. But then it got to the point where, so my mom was selling the blankets, right? And so my mom got this idea because when we would go to Swami's, they would also sell blankets. And there was a few other ladies who would also sell blankets at school. Ooh. So basically to make the blanket, all you had to do was, you had to double line it. And my mom would always get the most business because hers were the best because they were double lined, right? So you basically get a cloth of a character of any kind. And at the Swamis, they actually sell like a bunch of different characters. So you get the cloth of the character, and then you get a matching color to put underneath. So like if you're gonna do Frozen, you'll put a baby blue at the bottom.
Okay, perfect.
Yep. So then we would get like X amount of yards of whatever the character is, or whatever order my mom had, and then we would get the matching contrast color at the bottom, and you basically lay them flat on top of each other, and then on the corners you're gonna cut about like 2 inches, right, into the blanket, and then you're gonna leave about 1 inch, and then you're gonna cut again. So you're basically cutting. Right? And then you're leaving little threads on the edges. Then you're going to get 2, and then you're going to like tie it.
Like twist them, right?
Yes, twist it and tie it through. And when you do that, now both of them are held together. So you don't have to sew it or anything. Like it's literally held together through like what you're doing, right? So yeah, we would do that, and my mom would get like custom orders. And I remember I used to always be like, oh yeah, like mom sells blankets. Now that I think about it, I think she would sell them for like $10 or $15. It wasn't much.
That's so crazy because I remember one time I went with my mom to get my brother like a gift, and he liked USC college at the time. And we did that. We got him a USC banner on the front, and the bottom we put a red like a lining, and we cut it and twisted it. So around the whole blanket, like the perimeter had like little twisties.
Yes.
Of both colors.
Yeah. So that's what we did.
Oh,
and that's
wow.
the extra, right? That was the stuffing that we would use for the pillows.
So nothing was going to waste.
Nothing was going to waste, bro. We always would use everything. And then my mom would sell those, and she would get like these bags. They were kind of like it depended on the color of the blanket, but there was usually, it was kind of like iridescent, like, like the pretty ones. And she would tie it on the top with the string, and it was like this little bubble. Oh, I really want to find pictures. I can show you guys. But it was like these little bubbles, and then she would sell the blankets. And again, we wouldn't sell like, bulk orders the way that you see businesses being ran now. But my mom would sell like 2 a week. Like it was good business. And at the time, like think about that, right? If she was selling for $15, she would probably pay anywhere from like $4 to probably like $4 for fabric.
Wow.
And then we would do all the labor and then pocket like $10.
That is insane.
Genius.
But
Genius.
I think you're missing out on another business.
Oh my God, wait, I'm not done, bro. Let me run through the line.
Okay, my bad.
So then I remember one time, things started to get kind of real tight, and we started to pulling out the cooking business. Okay, and this one made big bucks. So my mom has always known how to cook like really, really good. By the way, this whole entrepreneur, it was me and my mom. We're the best team in the world. Like I swear, me and my mom have always like not been shy to like sell or anything. Like we've always been like, we've always hustled. So we started to get into the food. So my mom would make literal food, like entire pots of like all kinds of Hispanic dishes. Like any dish you could think of, like things that now she's like, oh, so tedious. Dude, she would make that shit every day. Like she would sell that stuff.
She's probably tired of it.
Yeah, dude, it was the worst. The only thing we wouldn't really sell was tamales because my mom never really, we did sometimes, but it wasn't like, mainly it was we would also sell a bunch of like the handmade tortillas. Like we would make them together and we would sell those and she would
like
sell them by the
school or
dozen.
where?
Yeah, to all like the parents at school.
Oh shoot!
That was our customer base, right? It was the parents at school.
I remember you told me like you and your sister and your mom would be hustling every day just making tortillas.
Dude, when I fucking tell you like I think I was traumatized of eating a freaking tortilla because I would have to cook it. And like if you've ever cooked, okay, this is a whole other thing. If you've ever cooked them, you understand. So you literally, there's like a thought process to cooking them, right? You have to put them on the pan, wait like 5 to 10 seconds, and then you got to flip it and then cook it all the way through. But in this whole time, you're flipping it with your hands, not with any things because they're too soft, so they'll bend and it'll just be bad. So with your fingers, right, you're doing it over and over and over and over again, and your face gets red, and your hands and your hair, it would burn. And my mom wouldn't let me shave my arms, so my hairs would burn all over my arms and stuff. And we would sell that. And then we got into the bread, and the bread was like, it made us bread.
This is so interesting because I feel like this is very Hispanic based, right?
It is, yeah.
And I want to know what the Asian American and African Americans did because like it's totally different things. Like what if we had like the same lives, just different cultures? I want to know. That's so question. Cool.
Yeah. So we got into the bread, and the bread my dad would actually sell to his coworkers. So then we got my dad into a little business. My dad would sell to his coworkers. And you know what? Till this day, like my dad's coworkers will be like, oh, is your wife making any bread anytime soon? Like, let me know. Yeah, we would sell by the dozen. And then the ones that were stuffed, they were more. So the little ones were 2 for $1. And then the other ones, I believe they were either 75 cents or $1 because they were stuffed and they were like this fucking big. But the little ones, 2 for $1. You know the ones that I love? Yeah, we would make that, dude, and we would just
now
sell
that I
it.
think about it, I was a consumer. I forgot I had a kid in my class, but I would buy origami like crazy.
Origami?
Yeah.
What's that?
Folded paper and making paper art.
Oh, I don't know about that. We didn't do that.
No, but like I was like addicted to origami, so I would be like searching up how to make the best airplane, and I couldn't do it, or how to make paper swan, and I was buying them. I think I bought one of them for like $8.
Bruh, from another kid?
Yeah, from another kid,
Oh, you
and his
were a
mom would make
consumer.
them.
Genius.
$8 for
genius.
a piece of a little paper swan. Wow,
Genius. So genius. I was never the kid to buy.
Or the fortune tellers, the ones you go like,
Oh, I would make those with like the numbers
yeah.
and the colors and stuff, and like the open here and da da da. Yeah, craziness, right? Crazy.
Okay,
But
I'm waiting.
the bread, right? We sold that for a while. We even sold bread to my teachers. To my teachers.
That's how you know the bread was a
Yeah.
bomb. Wait, what bread was it? Was it the one that your mom makes like now still?
Yeah, the same bread.
The sweet one?
Yeah, the same bread.
Oh shoot, that bread is bomb.
Yeah, we would sell it to my teachers. I remember there was a few teachers that bought from us. Yeah, crazy. So yeah, we did the food, and the food was honestly, I think, one of like the bigger money makers, because I think that was when we were kind of struggling the most. It was my mom was making food, and then my dad was working hella. And then came I think do I have the timeline right? So it was the dry erasers, the blankets, okay, yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken,
You're on track.
I think I'm on track. Honestly, I might be forgetting some other side hustles, so I'll let you know if they come to mind. But then I started my giant chip dealership business, right? And I was a chip dealer. Okay,
Wait, where would you go get your chips from?
Smart and Final.
Okay, before the Costco membership?
Before the Costco membership.
Because the Costco membership was bougie, right?
No, but Costco only had the big bags, and I needed the little ones because I needed to sell for 50 cents because they wouldn't sell for $1.
And Smart and Final has like the 100 pack of
Yes.
the 50-cent hot Cheetos.
Yeah, they had the baby ones. So what I would do is I would buy those big ass. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. So my mom used to buy them for like, I think they were like $14, right? And had 30 bags. Yeah, it was like 30 bags. So I would profit like $15 off of each box. So that's how I like scaled. And then I started to bring in candy.
Dude, Smart and Final had it all back
All of
then.
it.
I don't know if it now like inflation caused
I've
it
never
to.
been.
We've been.
I don't think I've been in the past like.
Nah, you have. You had to get those cups for your coffee.
You're right. No, but I don't think we looked.
No, we didn't look. That was my favorite aisle walking through every time we go to Smart and Final when I was a kid, like going through the aisle with the chips and the candy, because it was like wholesale.
It was wholesale. I remember back then. Honestly, with inflation though, I don't know how that is anymore.
Like now the kids are standing outside of Target selling them for like $5 each. And I'm like, buddy, if I was you, I would make a smarter tactic and sell them for cheaper to sell more rather than not selling a lot and trying to make a big
but
profit.
I have a bone to pick with those people, which I'll get into. But
Okay, go.
Scamming. So yeah, back then we would be able to profit, but I don't know about now. Do you know how much that box is now?
I don't know, probably like $10.
Jake, if it was 14 back then, how's it gonna be $10?
No,
now?
I'm talking about the candies.
What do you mean?
The candy boxes.
The ones you would buy?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I never bought those, so I'm not sure. But for the chips, for the chips, it was 14. I think it was like 14 or 15 bucks, and then it had 30, so you'd profit 15.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I didn't buy the chips only for parties.
Yeah, it was the chips, and then from there it scaled to like Capri Suns, and then it went to like candy, and like I had everything. You know the salsa, these ones, like the little.
I didn't like those.
Oh my god, I love those. I used to sell those. I used to sell all of them, right? And then it was literally, I remember like when people would give me $1, and we'd have to hide it like under the tables, like the teacher wouldn't see. And it was like I ran that business from like 4th grade to like 6th grade ish. But that was a whole thing, dude. Like so much stuff happened with that.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it again. I was a fat ass consumer. I would buy whenever my friends would go to Mexico and they would bring back candies. Dude, I was spending money like crazy because you couldn't get them here.
You had money to spend on that?
They were like 50 cents each. I think that's why I didn't scale my other businesses, because all the money I made from that business, I would just like buy
You're
other
spending it. That's not how you grow. So yeah, basically that just ran in, but that had like so much stuff, and that had a big grand finale. But I'm not gonna tell you the grand finale to that chip business because not yet. Hold up, let me finish. We started a knitting club when I was in 4th grade. Okay, and basically we would knit and we would sell at lunch. That's crazy, bro. I wonder if any of my friends still remember. Well, my elementary school friends remember that we started a knitting club. Okay, so we had to go to the principal and basically say like, can we start a knitting club because we were gonna start selling our goods on our own. Okay, on our own, but we got threatened.
By who?
I can't say that.
By another knitting club?
Dude, we got threatened, right? Oh my gosh, the other knitting club.
There was another one?
So then
Competitive.
these other people tried to give us competition and they wanted to start their own club, right? Their own knitting club. And so we obviously, like, we didn't want to lose customers. So we went to the principal and we were like, we want to start a knitting club. Like, let us start a knitting club. And we was like, we just want to sell our things. But he was like, yeah, you guys can do it, but all the proceeds have to go to the school.
No, what an op. Wow, what? What does he gain from that? And you agreed?
And we agreed.
Would you pocket anything?
No, you would sell, and then it's so funny because we would set up. So what would happen is that as soon as the bell would ring, we would run to the back, right? And we have our bag of goodies, and we would set up on the tables, and then people would come and we'd be like, this is that price, this is that price. And then I think that knitting club only lasted like 4 months because we got tired of knitting for free. That was child labor. So then we stopped the knitting club. But yeah, I remember one of my friends, one of my colleagues, she made this giant scarf, bro. We sold it for like $20.
No, I bet the parent didn't even like it. They were just trying to be nice and just, okay,
It was a teacher who bought it.
Exactly. She went home and threw it in the throwaway pile.
Oh, but that's super cool though, huh? How
Yeah.
she bought it from us, because that was it meant a lot to us.
Dude, that's like me going to farmers markets and I don't like the product, but I already tried the free sample.
Oh yeah, you can't
Dude,
say no.
it's the guilt. Like, you're going to the farmers
Yeah.
market, you're like, oh yeah, let me try this free sample of a freaking, what was it last time?
Oh, please don't say
It was a
but
protein, like a protein
that
bar.
that was the worst farmers market we've ever been to.
It was like a protein bar made out of graham crackers and stuff. I don't know, but I tried it and I was like, oh yeah, it's good. And I was like, I took the smallest bite. I was like, nah, here, try it. I wanted her to finish it because she likes protein more than me. And I had to buy one bar, and the one bar was $8.
Yeah, it was so expensive. Yeah, but it's that same energy.
They're still in the pantry and they're rotten.
It's that same energy where, like, you don't want to say no because these people are truly hustling, and you don't want to, burst their, because I would get sad when someone didn't buy anything for me. So I feel like that's why now I feel pressured to buy from other people,
That's the same way I feel.
Because it's like, oh, they're trying, and it's almost better. Like, at least they're out here starting a business
Yeah,
rather
like,
than like stealing or something.
When I see like people do merch and stuff, I'm like, even if I don't like it, I'm like, all right, let me buy like the cheapest thing that they have just to support in
just
general.
to help, because you're trying. I think trying is the hardest thing. Like, getting yourself to even start is really, really, really hard.
You want to get into your other ones?
So I stopped the knitting, and then I continued with the chip business. And then the chip business, this is the grand finale of the chip business. Okay, so I was in 6th grade, and I was threatened.
By who?
By another school person. I was threatened by another school person that if I didn't give them free chips, that they were going to snitch on me. So me being the goody two shoes that I am, right? I was so scared because I've been running this business for 3 years.
Free chips, nah.
Yeah. And it's crazy because I feel like how the people always say, like, how elementary school teachers know, like, that a kid ain't shit, and like how he'll never be shit the rest of his life. It's crazy because that's so true. Because if you're doing this stuff in elementary school, you're a kid, you're a baby, right? You're doing this like to get free things out of life. So you're threatening someone who's genuinely just trying to work to get money.
Yeah, it's the way you're raised.
What type of person are you gonna be? Right?
A bad person.
And so yeah, they threatened me with that. And I went up to the principal's office and I was going to confess. This is the way that life works, right? Because I was so scared because she had told me, she was like, yeah, I'm going to go snitch. Oh, because one of their ops, right, had heard and told me that after school they were going to go snitch. So I was like, I have to, and I remember I cried. Like, I went to the bathroom and I cried.
Bro, that's so messed up because your feelings were genuinely hurt.
I cried. And so I was like, no, I'm going to run and I'm going to beat this bitch, right? I'm going to go to the freaking principal's office and I'm going to be like, I've been selling chips, but I'll give you all my money. Like, that's literally what I was going to say. And I go, and he wasn't there. He wasn't there.
So and she got him first?
No, the principal wasn't there.
Okay.
So I went after school and I went. And keep in mind, like, my mom, bro, like, she's outside in the front of the school, like, right when the bell rings. And if you're not there, my mom is so lenient nowadays, but, like, she forgets her roots, right? If I wasn't outside by the time that, like, she was out there, I was going to be in trouble, like, big trouble. So I was so scared, but I ran, and I was like I literally like those kids running to lunch. Like, I got out of class and I ran to the principal's office, and I was like, oh, I need to talk to the principal. And then the secretary, nosy ass secretary, was like, for what? And I was like, oh, it's just it's something that I need to talk to him about. She's like, come here, tell me.
Oh,
and I was like, this fucking bitch. You know what? Fuck secretaries. if you're a secretary, I'm sorry, that doesn't include you. But fuck secretaries because they're always just like
the nosy
scummies,
ones?
dude. Till this day, we're having this huge incident.
Oh my
with
gosh,
schools,
yeah.
and those secretaries are fucking scums too. Like, so till this day, they're still scums. Anyway, so she was like, come here, tell me. And I was like, oh, I just have to tell them about a new business idea that I have. And she was like, what's the business idea? And I was like, I want to start the knitting club again. And then she wrote it down and I laughed. And then it's crazy because the principal called me to the principal's office the next day to talk to me about it. And this other bitch hadn't snitched. And I was like,
she flopped.
I'm like, she's not gonna snitch. I was like, she was what is it? She's bluffing. So then I said, oh, I was just thinking if we could start the knitting club again.
Oh, let me find out you did it and you didn't even want to do it anymore.
No. And then he said no.
Okay, it happened
He
for a
said
reason.
no.
It happened for a reason.
So
you didn't want
everything in life literally happens for a reason. So it didn't work out. We didn't start the knitting
so
club.
what about the chips? Did it end from there because you were scared still?
Yeah, so from there I just stopped. And then also like there was like incidents where people were like stealing out of my bag when I would go to the bathroom. And again,
Karma.
what kind of person are you if you're stealing from my backpack when I leave? You know what I mean? But again, it's just like people that do that kind of stuff at that young age, it's super concerning because that's who you're going to be, right? Like I would have never stolen from somebody when they were
At that
out.
young age, you shouldn't even have like stealing in your mind.
Right. So it's like that just shows you like the way that you're being raised and like what do you have in your mind, and that's just who you're gonna be, and that's just that. Anyway, so yeah, that's how my chip business ended, and I tried to bring my chip business back in high school, but the most embarrassing story, I have to tell it.
Go.
Oh my gosh,
I've
babe,
never heard
you're
this.
You're gonna fucking slap me because I'm just a dumb bitch. Okay, so I decided that I was going to start my chip business again, right? I'm in high school and I'm like, I need money. I was trying to do YouTube, but I had no money to do YouTube.
Damn,
and
competing with Pause is crazy.
Yes, I was going to compete with Pause actually. So my mom, I had savings, right? And I don't remember where these savings were from. Maybe my quince. I don't know. I had a bunch of savings. And I was like, Mom, I'm going to start my chip business again. And my mom, a hustler mindset 101 over here, was like, yes, let's go get you your stuff. So we go to Sam's and we get all of my materials. And I spent like $70 on materials.
Damn.
And I was like, I'm going big. I'm scaling this time. And I buy a duffel bag and I had everything ready. And I was like, I was so embarrassed. Like, I don't know why I was embarrassed, but I was so embarrassed. And I was like, my friends are going to think that I'm broke and all this other shit, which I was broke for the record. But you know, high school's just a different animal. Like,
dude, it messes you up.
High school's like, you want everyone to think you're cool. And
you're
like,
rich.
My friends were just never, all the people, not my friends, I wouldn't consider these people my friends, but everyone who was in the circle was like so cool and like, you know what I mean? And I didn't want anyone to know, but I was like, I'm going to do it, whatever. So I texted my person I was talking to at the time and I was like, just like the dumbest bitch, and let this be your inspiration, because if I was once like this and now I'm like the way that I am now, you can also be a strong bitch, okay? And I was like, what do you think about people selling chips?
After you already bought everything?
And then he's like, I don't like that stuff. So I didn't stop.
What'd you do with the money and all the resources? Yeah.
It's so embarrassing and funny that it almost makes me cry.
But that's not the first time he told you not to do something. And look at you now. Look at you now.
Dude, that's fucking crazy. Isn't that funny as fuck?
That's so funny.
Dude, it's like the dumbest bitch syndrome in the world. And yeah, I didn't do it. And my mom was like, you fucking dumb. Well, obviously my mom didn't know why.
And your dad was hella happy. He said, I got chips for lunch for the next month.
Dude, yeah, I would just eat them. I ate them. I think I ate everything.
Nat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, so funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so anyway.
Big bag.
I just
big
never
bag.
started, and like this is what I mean when I say like I have so many regrets of like who I was. What a dumbass bitch.
But
You know
I
how
think
much
all those-
money I could have made?
All those events happen for a reason to make you who you are right now.
Yeah.
And I think you shouldn't regret it, or you just like do what you're doing right now, like laugh back at it. You're crying. You're like
It's so funny.
if you could slap yourself, I know you would have.
I would. Like, what a dumbass bitch. You know how much money I could have made? I could have put Paws in the ground. Like, I could have took his business, bro. I'm so mad. So, yeah, anyway, if you are a dumb bitch right now, this is your sign that you still have time to have redemption. And don't do this shit. Like, are you kidding me? Are you
and
kidding me?
you also forgot to talk about your slime business.
Oh my god, my slime.
That's what I was trying to
business,
hint at the whole time.
About that. I had a slime business. Oh,
Yeah, and that slime business apparently escalated and made her a millionaire. I don't believe it. I don't buy it.
dude, my slime business was a whole.
But I feel like, dude, I feel like the slime as well as the animal rubber bands. You remember those? The rubber
I never
bands?
did the rubber bands.
Okay,
but a lot
so
of
I did the
people
rubber bands and I did the rainbow loom. So I would sell that stuff, but the slime just took the world by like surprise.
I did slime. I only sold like a few, I would say, maybe like under 10, but I would sell each one for like $10.
Yeah,
and I would
that's
put
crazy.
And I would put like smells in it and stuff. So
You
it would
put
smell
perfume?
like things. Yeah, I would literally put lotion in it, like Bath and Body Works lotion. I would put it, dude, oh my god.
That's genius.
That
I
is
bet everyone's
crazy.
getting like the memories of that, like making their slime too.
It's so crazy. That's the roots, y'all. So if you ever wanted to be an entrepreneur, we could do it, you could too. Bro, that's crazy.
That's funny as hell. But that's
Okay.
gonna wrap up this podcast because we have 2 minutes left on the thing and we don't want it to
Literally.
die and lose the footage. But if you had a laugh at this podcast, and I know it's short, just leave a like. If you're new, comment. Tell
Please
us what's
tell me
up.
you laughed. Please.
And if we gave you guys any like PTSD, or if you remember any like have any specific memories of you doing this, comment down below because we want to see and
We
hear
wanna
everyone's
hear.
stories.
Yeah, we want to hear. Thank you guys so much for watching this podcast and listening to our story ties. And the camera has died. And we will see you guys.
In the next one,
Bye.